A fire in a Bronx apartment building that killed 12 people including 4 children on Thursday night was caused by a child playing with a stove, authorities said, as New Yorkers absorbed horrific details from the city's worst single loss of life from a fire since the 9/11 attacks. The flames spread quickly through the kitchen of a first-floor apartment, then roared through a door the boy's mother left open as she fled with her 2 children, the New York Fire Commissioner, Daniel Negro, said. We were told the boy had a history of playing with the burners and turning them on, and before the mother knew it this fire had gotten a good hold of the kitchen, Negro said. A stairwell acted like a chimney, carrying the flames through the entire 5-story building within minutes and blocking the main escape route. Many of the victims' bodies were found in the stairwell and probably died in the 3.5 minutes between the first calls to emergency services and the arrival of fire trucks at the 100-year-old apartment block. People had very little time to react and they couldn't get back down, Negro said. Of those that tried, a few of them perished. Most of the deaths occurred pretty early, some of them before we could arrive. At least 20 people were climbing down icy metal fire escapes when firefighters arrived, Negro said. About 170 firefighters worked in freezing temperatures of 15 F, -95 C. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio told CNN that first responders saved at least 12 lives. He later told WNYC that 4 survivors were still in serious condition. The New York Police Department said girls aged 1, 2, and 7, and a boy whose age was not given were among the dead. Witnesses described seeing bodies being carried away on stretchers and young girls who had escaped standing barefoot and without coats outside the building. Fire investigators determined the deaths were caused by a combination of smoke and burns, Negro said. The apartment building, in a neighborhood near Fordham University and the Bronx Zoo, had 25 units, but was not new enough to have been required to have modern-day fireproofing measures such as sprinkler systems and interior steel construction. According to city records, the building had no elevator. De Blasio told WNYC there was nothing problematic about the building that contributed to this tragedy and said, "The reminder is be very, very careful with your children anywhere near a source of fire, keep them away and create as many barriers as possible." At a press conference at the scene where ashes and water from efforts to bring the blaze under control had frozen into rivers of black ice, the somber fire commissioner acknowledged that children starting fires was not rare. Negro said his department had as many as 100 referrals a year about children who have issues with or are fascinated by fire. It's not unusual but it's very sad, he said. Excluding the 9/11 attacks, it was the worst fire in New York City since 87 people were killed at a social club in the Bronx in 1990. One of New York's deadliest fires in recent memory happened in the Bronx in 2007.